President Buhari signs electoral amendment bill into law. The All Progressives Forum Congress strategizes to ensure a steady ship as key election dates loom. It is a case of revolving doors this week in Zamfara State. Zamfara State House of Assembly sent a deputy governor packing while the state welcomed a new one within hours. Show integrity, experience, and expertise. Stakeholders urge newly sworn-in INEC national commissioners. Also, a political update today. Nasarawa hosts the president, showcasing infrastructural development. What else does the state need to do to combat promise to prosperity? We have details of this and more on our lineup today. I'm Fisai Ogunfuyi. Welcome. We will go to the signing of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill in the course of the program once we get our guests in. But let's start this way. In the course of the week, President Muhammadu Buhari had a meeting with the Progressives Governors Forum on issues of party harmony and the build-up to the general elections. Chairman of the forum, Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, spoke to journalists after the meeting.
The meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and members of the Progressives Governors Forum is coming barely 24 hours after the party's CECPC announced March 26th as new date for the National Convention of the APC. The governors are here to not only assure the president of their unanimous support for the position taken by the Mai Malabuni-led committee, but also other measures aimed at ensuring a very successful exercise in the best interest of the governing party.
The 22 governors of the APC are united. We are in total support of Mr. President. We are appreciative of his leadership. We commend him for his leadership. We are appreciative of the sacrifice of the National Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee for the tremendous work that they have done. Despite all the challenges, our party has emerged stronger, greater, with more members by the day.
Let nobody leave this room with any doubt that the progressive governors are united on the convention, on the future of the party, on our commitment to ensure that the People's Party doesn't come back to power.
The APC governors also used the opportunity of their engagement with the president to show appreciation for his leadership and genuine commitment to Nigeria.
On Wednesday, President Muhammadu Buhari swore in 6 new INEC commissioners to fill existing vacancies in the elections management body. They will be expected to hit the ground running with the by-elections to hold in some states this weekend.
I will preserve, protect, and defend the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The new INEC national commissioners comprise 2 returning for a second term in office and 4 newly appointed, all of them nominated by President Muhammadu Buhari and confirmed to be of unquestionable integrity by the Senate after a thorough screening exercise. The returnees are Mohammed Kudu Haruna from Niger State and May Abamuche Mbu from Delta State. Those appointed for the first time are Ukwegbu Kenneth Namdi from Abia, retired Major General Abubakar Modibo Ali Adamawa, Professor Rhoda Habo.
Several infrastructure projects designed to enhance the socio-economic development of Nasarawa State were inaugurated this week by President Muhammadu Buhari. The president commended Governor Abdullahi Sule for his commitment to making life better for the people.
Nasarawa, the home of solid minerals, is considered as President Muhammadu Buhari's political laboratory. No wonder, therefore, the people of the state turn out massively to accord the Nigerian leader a befitting welcome on arrival at the newly completed Lafia Airport, Kwandere. The Lafia Airport, initiated by the Tanko Almakura administration and completed by Governor Abdullahi Sule with the provision of state-of-the-art facilities, was the first to be inaugurated by the president. It is a 10 billion naira public-private partnership initiative that will complement the cargo and commercial flight operations of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. Another state government project inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari is the Wing Commander Abdullahi Ibrahim Vocational and Technology Institute in the heart of Lafia.
People who have graduated, but they cannot get jobs because they don't have skills. So we decided to introduce different kind of concept where we can now have shops like welding, air conditioning, advanced technology, and the rest of that, so that people can get certificated. Because of the experience I had, as I was saying, sir, where when we were building the refinery, over 10,000 certified expatriate technicians were brought in. We want to be able to produce those technicians here. This is the dream about this particular project.
Also blessed by the president were the 3.5-kilometer Shinge Barking Abdullahi Klema road leading to the viable areas of economic and industrial concerns, as well as the modern bus terminal and various types of gas-powered buses for enhanced intra- and interstate transport services.
I thank you very much for putting the right infrastructure at the right time to make life easier for the people.
It was almost like a case of musical chairs on Wednesday as the Zamfara State House of Assembly impeached the deputy governor while the governor swore in a new one. He is a senator.
The process for the impeachment of the Zamfara State Deputy Governor Mahdi Aliyu Gusau, which began barely 3 weeks ago, has eventually come to an end with the submission of a report to the State House of Assembly by a 7-man panel constituted by the State Chief Judge to investigate the allegations of gross misconduct against him. Speaker of the Assembly, Nasuru Ma'azu Magaria, who read the findings of the committee at the plenary, said the investigative panel found the embattled Deputy Governor guilty of all the charges leveled against him. This prompted the clerk to the House, Shehu Saidu Anka, to instantly constitute a voting panel, after which 20 out of the 22 members of the Assembly voted in favor of the impeachment of the Deputy Governor.
By prohibition of the law, the Deputy Governor of the Zamfara State, Pastor Mahdi Aliyu Muhammad Gusau, being guilty of gross misconduct, is removed from office for today, 23rd day of February 2022. This is what we say, aye. Against nay, I have served.
The 7-man panel that investigated the allegations against the impeached deputy governor, led by retired Justice Halidu Tankosoba, had concluded its sitting on Tuesday this week as 7-man witnesses testified before the committee. The impeached deputy governor, however, shunned the panel on a premise that it was illegally constituted. Meanwhile, Zamfara State Chief Judge Justice Kulu Aliyu has sworn in Senator Hassan Muhammad Gusau as the new state deputy governor. This followed the confirmation of his nomination by the State House of Assembly shortly after impeaching his predecessor.
We admire the pedigree of the new deputy governor, most especially his excellent record of political accomplishment, his excellent interpersonal relationship, his accessibility and closeness to his political constituency. I am confident that His Excellency Senator Hassan Mohammed is just the right person for this mission.
Until his nomination, the new Zamfara State Deputy Governor is the National Assembly member representing Zamfara Central Senatorial District.
All right, so many things to go through. So joining us in the studio is Honorable Abubakar Hassan Alaraba, member representing our Doma and Kena Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State. He's also the Sadauki of Lafia. Sadauki of Lafia.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to the chieftaincy issue. Some other time. But the news of the day is that the reworked Electoral Act Amendment Bill, which you have worked with jointly with the Red Chamber as well, the Senate, has now been signed into law just a couple of hours ago by the President. What are your comments at this time, now that it's been signed to law?
Thank you so much, Mr. Fisayo. We would like to commend Mr. President for taking the bull by the horn, for being proactive to sign the Electoral Act. After so many on and off, you are quite aware of the tension that the Electoral Act generated during the direct or indirect primary election. Also, the e-transmission of results of the Electoral Act, which many Nigerians don't have confidence in the electoral empire without signing the Electoral Act. But alhamdulillah, today, Mr. President has fulfilled his promise. The National Assembly has worked assiduously to give Nigerians an act that will guarantee and also safeguard the elections, the future elections in Nigeria. An act that will bring confidence or will put confidence on Nigerians that the empire will be fair and just to everyone. So it's a very good one for Nigeria and very good one again for the National Assembly for working towards the Electoral Act.
All right, and of course that gives the INEC the instrument on which to, base the conduct of the general elections next year, as well as perhaps, the processes leading to the election. Now, so many things to talk about. Just before you came in, we're talking about the issue of your party, but let's first, since you are from Nasarawa State, the president just visited. In fact, he left today, your state. In terms of infrastructure development, you were able to showcase a lot of things. Though you are from there, perhaps did you see new developments in your state to show that democracy is working?
Yeah, there is a lot of development in Nasarawa State, and considering the infrastructural development put in place by the immediate past administration and then the consolidation of those infrastructure by the present administration and also executing new ones. The president came to Nasarawa State and he was welcomed by everyone, and then you can see that the governor of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi Sule, did a lot of work. He's wanting to have a governor, and he's wanting to have a governor that is determined to bring changes to the state. Abdullahi Sule, we're lucky to have an engineer and also a businessman as a governor. You can agree with me that what we have today in Nasarawa State, the governor did not just execute new projects. He completed the projects being started by his predecessor. Having completed those ones, he now executes his own new project. And all these projects are projects that will lead to economic development, will lead to more investments into Nasarawa State, and will boost investors' confidence in Nasarawa State. So Mr. President's presence in Nasarawa State has bring a lot of good tidings to Nasarawa State. It ensures investors' confidence in the state. By completing the airport, we are hoping very soon that Nasarawa State will be aviation hub in exporting agricultural commodities.
Your zone, your federal constituency is not too far from this city center. Are you also trying to see that in your little way you're able to attract development also to those areas?
Yes, one of the projects that the President commissioned is a skill acquisition program where you train youth in skills acquisitions. So we intend to tap into that program to send about 150 youths and women to the skills acquisition program so that they could learn various skills that they could be self-reliant and self-dependent, and which is going to be a very good one, first of its kind. The Governor Abdullahi Sule, in his wisdom, decided to set up that skills acquisition, considering the fact that, knowing too well that Nasarawa State, one of the major problems or challenges we are facing is youth unemployment. So with that, it will be able to reduce the number of unemployed youths in our streets, and which is going to also improve economic development to the state.
All right, since time is not my friend, our friend of the program at the moment, we're running short of time. We need to get to some of the things we spoke about last time you came. You rightly predicted that, today we would have been preparing for your national convention. You said that for it to be reasonable, it has to be postponed. Yeah. And that has happened now. So what are the things that you feel that need to be speedily addressed ahead of the D-Day now?
You see, the APC brought up a timetable for the national convention. The 26th of February is not feasible, like I rightly said the last time I was here. And then now we can believe, or we've seen some little of hope that the convention might hold on the 29th of March, considering the...
Why do you use might?
Yes, will hold.
All right.
Yes, considering that they have decided to bring out the various zonal committees to conduct the zonal convention, and then they brought out also the zoning pattern of various positions to be occupied by the various zones. So that is a plus. Initially, we're not having such zonal arrangements and such zonal sharing of positions.
Distribution,
but,
okay.
distributions. But now we can confidently say yes, we are getting there, and we are hoping that it's not going to be postponed any longer.
Okay, let's move quickly to some other issues very quickly. The chieftain of the APC and former chairman House Committee on Security, Sani Jaji, has commended the government on recent reforms in the area of crime prevention and strengthening intelligence gathering by sharing intelligence between relevant agencies.
To avoid political instability, to balance the political situation within and outside the APC. That's why the issue of zoning came to play. And then I believe the way they zone the national officers, I think it's equally, for me, they did justice. They tried to bring the party and the people together to come to participate in the next general election. For example, in the North Central, there are many people that are aspiring to be the national chairman. Allow all of them, let them contest, because you'll have a pre-contest, and then the people from all over the country, they think that, okay, I'll go for this one, not go this one, this one. I believe in that one. But the consensus is all, the only option is, I think that is the reason why they bring the idea of consensus, to have a political stability or harmony. So if there's that understanding without conspiracy, it's okay. But there are times in consensus there's conspiracy. Then the conspiracy will lead to something different.
One man's meat is another man's poison. As the 2023 general elections draw near, Abuja State Governor Bala Mohammed has visited former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Governor Bala Mohammed stated that the PDP is the party to beat.
Journalists at the end of a closed-door meeting with Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed says he was in Abuja to see the former president and tap from his wealth of experience concerning the next move for the PDP. He said the zoning of presidency to the south by the APC poses no threat to the PDP ahead of the 2023 general elections.
It is not, because each party is trying to strategize, is to plan to make sure that if they zone their candidate to the south, it is open to us to see whether if we zone to the south, it is going to give us more electoral victory, or if we put it in the north, it will give us more electoral victory. Certainly, this is the kind of thing we are doing, the legwork, the articulation, the permutations.
Governor Bala Mohammed says the PDP will continue to strategize so as to strengthen the People's Democratic Party ahead of the 2023 general elections for the electorate to choose between the best alternatives.
All right, so where do you stand in all this? We're talking about some moves towards consensus. So should we allow all the masquerades to come to the party, and then we begin to see in which direction the party will want to go?
First thing first, Mr. Fisher, I think the APC has graciously zoned various positions to various zones, like the chairman is zoned to North Central. So that alone gives all the aspirants from North Central a chance to come and to vie for the position. And then they said, like what the Progressive Governors Forum chairman said, that they believe in consensus. And we also believe in consensus, and we also believe in credible and transparent consensus that will produce the chairman that can lead the party.
How will that work?
I think it's a process, and if the process are transparent, I think all the aspirants will accept the consensus candidate eventually. But first thing first, they need to put things in order in the North Central and then produce the process that is very transparent and seamless for the chairman to emerge as chairman from North Central.
And of course, are you a part of the people also perhaps canvassing for more youth's involvement in different parts?
Sure, certainly. Youth is my immediate constituency, so we are canvassing for youth participation and involvement in the APC convention and various positions. And I'm strongly in support of youth involvement and participation in the convention. So we want to urge the key players to consider involving more youths in elective positions of the party.
All right, before we go, and then before we come for your final comments on the program, on the foreign scene, is this alarming development. Russia is ignoring threats and sanctions and has launched attacks on Ukraine. Will the harsh package of sanctions help put Putin in check?
We're not going to take any chances, and we've agreed that they should ask all the Nigerians to stay at in their residence, and what we plan to do is that once the airports are open, the embassy will assist those who are ready and willing to leave the country. There are 5 airports, and so we're now planning on how to get those who want to leave to the airports nearest to where they're staying, and then helping and assisting for them to evacuate, to leave the country. The advice that we were getting was that we should not panic. The Nigerians in Ukraine should not panic. The embassy was in touch with them, telling them to take reasonable precautions, and which has been ongoing for a while.
Russia in Ukraine. That must have come as a shock also to you.
Yes, certainly, because we never expected Russia, and having given all the warning by the EU and the NATO to attack Ukraine, to launch an attack or invade Ukraine. It's a really huge shock. And then Ukraine is also a sovereign nation. So for a nation to go and be invaded or be attacked for some political reasons is totally unacceptable. So I totally agree with the position of Nigeria.
Is that a pointer to Nigeria, for instance, perhaps to begin to up the ante, especially when it comes to territorial integrity?
Yes, you see, it's really necessary for us to look at our territorial integrity to protect us against foreign aggression or invasion. We are currently facing a lot of security challenges, which our porous borders contributed to that. And if you look at what is happening at the moment, given the issue of Boko Haram and the ISWAP, so what if our nation will be invaded, which we don't think our neighbors can invade Nigeria? Nigeria is too big and too large for any small African nation to just come in and launch an attack.
All right, that's the program we pray most especially for Ukrainians and Nigerians in Ukraine, and some big houses of worship, football players in that country, as well as students that perhaps, of course, they will not suffer any harsh consequences of this onslaught. And of course, as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Godfrey Uyema, spoke there, they will be able to evacuate our loved ones. That has been the size of political update today. It is a crucial year for preparation for the general elections next year, and of course the off-cycle elections in Ekiti and Osun also looming. Play your politics for the greater good, and keep it locked on the Nigerian Television Authority, where we give you the very best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.